Hello everyone, this is Denfet, and welcome to a Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker spoiler review. So this is kind of new for my channel, and well, mainly because I mostly like a gaming channel, and right now you should be seeing like some gaming content, like just like little clips and like snippets of video, just like little things, whatever I can like find, piece together, make or whatever. Just because I really want to talk about The Rise of Skywalker, because I had some really strong feelings about it. Just a disclaimer though, well, I guess first disclaimer, there is spoilers in this review. I'm gonna put that in the title, in the description. I want to tell you like ahead of time too, just in case you don't want to be spoiled. I guess just to click off the video now. Um, and also another disclaimer is just that I'm not a review channel. Like if you're looking for some kind of like in-depth analysis of like the characters, the themes of this movie or whatever, this probably isn't the place to find it. I'm honestly just gonna talk about what I loved and what I didn't love, what I disliked. But no, yeah, guys, thank you for joining me. um, Again, I'm just some nerd talking about a movie I like. Um, so no, yeah, I guess just going straight out of the gate, I just really want to talk about what I loved. I guess just like start on a high note. And I think like my absolute favorite part of the movie, just like hands up, straight, like just being real with you, I think is just any Palpatine scene, because again, spoilers. Okay, just gonna say that like one last time, just Palpatine. I think every time he was in the movie, I got chills, just because like he is such a he's been the villain of like the past like 9 movies, and so it's like just seeing him again, just here in the flesh. Well, I wouldn't even say in the flesh, because in the movie you see him like multiple times and kind of like shows like little snippets of his face. It shows him cloaked in shadows. It shows like it's not till like the very end that you see what it is that he's become, and he's honestly basically an abomination of what he used like of the man that he used to be before, because he looks straight up like a zombie. He's attached to this like huge like, how would you call it, like a crane thing. His eyes are like whited out and everything. His finger, like he's missing fingers and stuff, like parts of his fingers. It looks like he doesn't even have like a bottom part of his. Like my girlfriend actually brought this up when we watched the movie. It looks like he doesn't even have part of his legs. Like it looks like he's just a torso and he's just kind of floating around. Cause like from the robe, like the way it looks, the way he's being carried around by the crane, he looks really like ghostly, like really creepy. And I guess that's the vibe that they're going for, creepy and like I will admit that this is definitely new for a Star Wars movie. Just like the horror vibe of it, like the creepy factor was just like turned up to 12 whenever he'd or out of 10. Whenever he'd be on screen, and I loved it. I love that vibe. Like anytime you saw him, and it was so like I hate to admit it, but it was like edgy. It was creepy. It was, I guess I don't want to say horror, but like horror. Like it was awesome just seeing him on screen and talking like he used to, and there are just so many good scenes with him that like just any scene he was in was a good scene. Basically, one of my favorite scenes was actually when he, again, I don't know, I'm just gonna be like jumping all over the place during this review, but I think my absolute favorite scene of the movie was just when he like, well, yeah, I guess if you watch the movie, um during like the final battle, the resistance is fighting like the final order, I think it's called. I will admit I don't like that name that much. Sith order, I guess that sounds a little bit better, but I didn't think they even call him that in the movie. I don't recall. Again, I've only just watched this once, and it was like a day ago. Everything's still fresh in my mind though, but still. No, yeah. So the resistance, like it's the final battle. Resistance ships are all over the place. The star destroyers are in the sky or whatever, and all he does, it's just so freaking intense. um, he just lifts up his fingers, like the room gets quiet. It's super intense. Just you can like hear a pin drop. He picks up his hands, his newly formed hands after like absorbing life force from Rey and Kylo, and like he just like lifts up his hands. It's like you just see the fingertips just raised in the air, and gets like super quiet. All of a sudden, you just hear like a boom just from his fingertips, just the lightning just knocking out ship after ship after ship, and it's just like he's so overpowered and so crazy. Like I'm sorry, but that's what I wanted to see from a Star Wars movie. Okay, I'm gonna try not to compare this movie to The Last Jedi at all, but I will admit that movie kind of like left a sour taste in my mouth. So I went into this movie kind of thinking that, yeah, see this review's all over the place. I'm sorry, but I went into this movie thinking that it was gonna be like a, like I went in wanting to hate this movie. I went in thinking that I'm not gonna like this movie. I read some spoilers beforehand, and I was like, this movie sounds dumb. Like as much of a Star Wars fan that I am, I kept kind of thinking like, if it's anything like The Last Jedi, I'm not gonna like it. And I think that's why I liked it so much, because it wasn't what The Last Jedi was. It kind of gave me a lot of what I wanted to see. Like, just like Palpatine in general is just like, I'm sorry, but who? I guess a lot of people are conflicted on the fact that Palpatine is back all of a sudden. It's never really explained in the movie either. But just the fact that he is back, and just the fact that I think they handled him really, really well with the exception of one scene. I'll get back to that later on, because like the final scene of the movie basically. But no, yeah, for the most part, he's handled really, really well. That's the Palpatine that I wanted to see, and well, it's because like, how do I say it? That's the Palpatine that I feel like is portrayed in the books, in the comics, in the, you know what I mean, the video games and stuff. He's like basically like almost all powerful. So like after absorbing life energy, just seeing that was just like that gave me chills. It's like holy shit. Like honestly, just excuse my language. Like holy shit. Like look what he just, I don't know. So I thought that was really crazy. Again, I don't know. So all over the place. I guess just going back into more scenes that I really liked from the movie was also just again another Palpatine scene basically, but like I think it was like the very first scene where Kylo Ren's kind of like hunting down Palpatine, where he sent like that message at the very beginning of the movie. Um, I love that part. I think it was even shown in one of the trailers that he is basically saying that that whole part where he's like, I have been every voice inside your head, or just like all that. Like I love that shit. I eat that shit up. um, as much as I kind of wish Snoke was his own character in The Last Jedi, because then it would have been interesting to know that like Snoke was this character from like the outer regions, that he had his own backstory, he was his own creature, he was his own like strong force entity that could have rivaled Palpatine maybe. Um, I will admit it is kind of cool that they went with the whole cloning thing, because the way that Palpatine kind of makes it sound is that he was, well no, yeah, because he was like the puppeteer behind it all, right? But so I just don't get why he used Snoke when I don't know. There's a lot of questions that I have after the movie that may be explained. I don't know. Hopefully they will be explained either like in a visual dictionary or just somewhere else that I like to get into. Maybe some of the questions that I have already been answered. You know, I'm not gonna lie to you and say that I know everything Star Wars. I know a lot, but not everything. Um, but no, where was I going with this? I don't know. It's just it was amazing. The opening scene was amazing, where Kylo Ren's just walking up to Palpatine, like just the horror vibe of it. Like the planet of Exegol, it looks like a Sith planet. Like if you told me that was like, well, it's because they tell you that it is the homeworld of the Sith, the original homeworld of the Sith, and you're just like, you know, I can see that. I can buy it. It seems like the world's most creepy, dark, dark sidey force. I don't know. Like it looks like a really intense planet. Like I can see Palpatine hiding out there, you know. But no, yeah, okay. I guess just switching away from Palpatine, going on a more broader subject, I feel like the humor in this movie was really good. Um, I said this before, but I'm gonna try not to compare it to The Last Jedi. But I just kind of had to bring something up where I feel like a lot of the jokes in The Last Jedi didn't really hit home because they're so like cheesy. Is that the right word? Corny. So like the whole prank call with like one of the first scenes in Last Jedi, between Poe and Hux. It's just like what? um, and I don't even know if you'd call this a humorous scene, but that whole just the whole part with Luke and that cow thing. That like no, I try to erase that from my memory to be honest. But I feel like the humor here is like really really good. Um, C3PO, I think that they turned him into a lot more of a comic relief character than usual. I will admit that I think they went a little bit overboard at times because again, he's supposed to be the chatty robot that everyone kind of like finds annoying, which don't get me wrong, everyone does in the movie, which honestly feel kind of bad for him. But I think they turned it up to 11, which I'm not 100% sure I liked. There's just a lot of scenes where like there's this like one part where they fall like through the it's like quicksand rocks or something while looking for the dagger, the Sith dagger. Well, no, yeah. They fall through, and then C-3PO is just like, "Oh, I know you didn't ask for me, but I'm fine," or something. Just like little things like that. I'm just like, they're funny, but I think after a while, I was just like, okay, it's just we get that you want to feel important. C-3PO just, you know, I guess maybe that's what they're going for. They wanted him to annoy the audience as well, I guess. And he didn't really. It's just some of his like lines. He overstayed his welcome a little bit, I think. But no, yeah, that was really good. I like the humor and stuff, stuff like that. I feel like this movie was really, aside from just the humor and stuff, I think they had a lot of like, how do I say it? Good themes, good. Like I feel like I hate to make it sound so broad, but I feel like this was a Star Wars movie because with the humor, with the intensity, and then with the horror, they even kind of like added in some new elements that I feel like all of it kind of like tied nicely together. I will admit that a lot of scenes kind of like hit you back to back, where it's like it was hard to breathe. After like seeing certain things, you'd be like, "Whoa, that was really intense." You'd go like it's another scene, it's like, "Whoa, that was really intense." Go to another scene, that was really intense. Like what the heck? Like I don't usually watch movies 2 or 3 times, especially not in the theaters, just because I don't know. I've never been that kind of person, but I feel like this is one that I definitely have to go back to and just like reevaluate some things. Just like, oh, that's what happened. like, you know, like I guess now that again I've only ever seen the movie once. I just saw it. This like 2 weeks after it came out as well. I call myself a Star Wars fan. Ugh. Um, but no, yeah. So I feel like there's a lot like going on and all, but at the same time, all of that stuff that's going on is stuff that I really liked. Like it's stuff that I really want to see in a Star Wars movie. Like there was tons of lightsaber fights. There was tons of like Star Wars basically. Like there was a bunch of like fighting in space or whatever. Like huge battles that you just like you kind of wish you saw more of. Like in the last. Well, no, I'm not gonna go back to the Last Jedi. We don't talk about that movie. But yeah, because there's just so much action in this movie that it's honestly really really good. Like again, it hits you hard, but at the same time, like after it's just like, damn, that was cool. You know, aside from like the action and stuff, I feel like so this is kind of something that I kind of saved to the end, but another good thing that I feel like they did really good with Rey, Finn, and Poe's like interactions. Um, like with the whole like original trilogy, Han Solo, Luke Skywalker, Leia, they were together almost like every movie. You know, they had a really good dynamic. Um, Ray, Foe, and Pin, Ray, Poe, and Finn. Um, Foe and Pin. Anyways, they had like I guess maybe because in the last see that movie like really split them up, and I feel like that kind of like hurt that movie a bit. And here you kind of see them like all acting as friends. They like joke around a lot. They talk a lot. You know, yeah, it's good to see. It's nice to see. I like their whole interactions and stuff. The one character that I will admit kind of annoyed me a little bit was Ray, which she's the main character and all, or pretty much. She's the main character and all, but I feel like it's because she went out and like did her own things a lot of the movie, and I guess it was like chasing after Kylo and like trying to help him, who knows what junk or whatever. But I will admit that like it got kind of annoying when they'd be like, okay, well, we have our plans. We're gonna like set up here, protect the Falcon, or we're gonna do the, you know what I mean? And she would just like run off. It's like, where's Ray? And she'd be like out in the desert, like 20 miles out. Like, what are you doing? Like, I don't know. I feel like she did a lot of stuff like that, and it kind of like, it didn't, what's the word? Like, there was no consequences, I guess, where she made a lot of like, because it seemed like they were trying to push on that whole thing where it's like, oh, you have friends, or you're never alone. They even say like something like, they win when you think you're alone or something like that. So I'm thinking like, oh, okay, maybe it's gonna be about like friendship and like always being together and stuff. Well, yeah, Ray kind of just does her own thing a lot of the times, and like 90% of the time, it works out just fine. I feel like we should have seen her fail a bit more, and this is just throughout the trilogy, because I feel like some of those like Mary Sue claims are still kind of valid. Again, after the Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and stuff. Some things I like to fill in with my headcanon. Again, just because like now she's a Palpatine and everything. Okay, maybe we can overlook some of those things, but I just feel like she should have failed more. Maybe not even in this movie is the thing, because this is the last movie. This was her. This was her Return of the Jedi. You know, this is when Luke was being a badass, like kicking ass on like during the whole Jabba the Hutt sail barge scene and stuff. Like Luke was a badass there. And don't get me wrong, Rey is an absolute badass in this movie as well. Like she takes on like Zori Bliss's men like nothing. She goes around like deflecting what are they called, like stormtrooper bolts, and I think even like Imperial guards. I think that's what they are, like during the whole Palpatine scene. Like she is a badass, don't get me wrong. I just feel like they could have done more to make her a little bit more vulnerable. And this is more just like a qualm that I have with the past, like the whole trilogy, I guess. Not so much this movie. I don't know. I guess I just wanted to group it in here, I guess. Speaking of Rey, I feel like I guess one of my favorite scenes from like her parts of the movie were probably her Force Lightning scene, just because that was so like the thing. It's the annoying thing too that I read spoilers about it too, and I was like, oh, Force Lightning, she doesn't use Force Lightning, and then, like I don't know, and I guess when I saw it, it didn't really take me off guard because I kind of figured it would be around then, but still seeing it was just like badass as shit, like as all hell, you know. Her and Kylo Ren get into this like weird little like forest tug of war with like a first order transport, right? And like it's pretty intense. The music's queuing up. Like you can see the ship being like tugged back and forth, and you think Chewie's in there, okay? And oh, well, that's another thing. Anyways, you think Chewie's in there, whatever. Yeah. All of a sudden, she shoots force lightning. And it's like holy shit. It's like wow. Like I expected it, but at the same time, it still kind of surprised me. I don't know. Is that a thing? Is that like a contradiction? That is a contradiction. I don't know. I just really liked that scene. It was cool. They did try and play at your heartstrings a little bit when you thought that she basically killed Chewbacca and stuff. But I will admit that I think that they tried to have their cake and eat it too. They wanted to get like an emotional response out of you for thinking that they killed Chewbacca, and later on they're like, "Psych, he was actually another transport." And it's like, what? Where did that come from? That and I think the whole C-3PO like thing going on too, because I remember seeing in the trailers as well that C-3PO, or I think it's like Poe that asks him like C-3PO, what are you doing, whatever. He's just like looking around, yeah. He's just like taking one last look at my friends or whatever, and you're just like, are they gonna kill off C-3PO? and not quite, because they like back up his, or no, what is it called? They like basically revert him to factory settings so he can read like some ancient Sith like dagger thing or whatever, Sith language or whatever on the dagger. And oh, that's, oh yeah, I'll get into that. But no, yeah, so they like, revert him to factory settings or whatever. And again, you're thinking that like, oh wow, that's like a serious, that's serious, you know? He's gonna like, he just forgot everything from like the prequels, the original trilogies. You know, he's a new droid. And you're just like, oh well, damn, like that's pretty sad, you know? And I think they, I don't know if it's Fo. I can't want to say Fo or Pin now. Poe or Finn. I'm not sure who says it, but they're like, oh, doesn't R2D2 have like a backup of your memory? And C3PO even kind of like disregards that, where he's like, I think he says like he wouldn't or he doesn't have or something like that. But just later on, just like Deus Ex Machina, just what's it called? R2D2 just kind of like shows up and is like, oh, he just has a backup. It's like okay then. um, so yeah, I feel like they tried getting an emotional response out of you like a lot of scenes, but then like after it's just like psych, it's like you thought this happened, but you know what I mean? Like they tried getting that, they tried getting you sad only to like lift you up again later on. Like they kept like they didn't want to commit. I don't know. I guess that's the best way to put it. Again, not personal review. Right? I feel like I need to keep stating that because this movie review is like all over the place. Oh, and going back to the dagger. Okay, so this is just one small problem that I had with that scene. So they find this like Sith dagger, or whatever that I think it's like I think it was stated to be like a Jedi hunter that Luke was tracking originally. Well, whatever. They get this like dagger and stuff. Okay, I'm just like, all right then, whatever. I don't know. I don't think they stated like when it was made and stuff, but I just found it really, really like I found myself kind of scratching my head when it's just like part of the dagger. There's like this like little like extendy bit where Ray just kind of like just pulls that out of nowhere and he's like, oh, I don't know. And it like lines up perfectly with the Death Star wreckage. So I'm not sure if like some to find like the Wayfinder to get to like Sidious or whatever. And she just kind of like pulls it out of nowhere and she just like picks it up like the perfect angle that it's like, oh, this is where the Wayfinder is. And you're just kind of like, what? I don't know, because maybe it was just me. I guess the Death Star wreckage was like huge, that where it shouldn't have been pushed around by the waves on. What was that planet even called? I have no idea what the planet was called. I'll put it in the video. Like, just see a title right now. But no, yeah. So I guess maybe it just wasn't move. What if something happened to it? What if I don't know? What if it moved ever so slightly where the dagger just wouldn't line up with it? I guess that had to have been made fairly recently for that to work. I don't know. I don't know. I just had again. That's like a super small problem that like anyone can. That's like a really easy one to get over, I guess. But just something I kind of thought of. Um, Oh no, yeah, I forgot that this is supposed to be like me talking about like the positives. I don't know, like the because there are a lot of positives and negatives to this movie, but at the same time, I still feel like it's like one of my favorite Star Wars movies. Just because I feel like the positives definitely outweigh the negatives. Um, so just go, again all over the place. Another thing that I really liked about this movie, or like one of the characters that I really liked that they introduced in this movie was Zori Bliss. Okay, and honestly, I'm such a sucker for like sexy ass helmets because that helmet was like sexy as fuck. I even asked my girlfriend too, who was like, did she say she's like she was a bounty hunter or something? Or I guess she was just a spice runner. It wasn't really stated why she had that helmet, but I was just like, damn, that helmet looks hot. Oh no, yeah, and I guess going back to the humor too, it was just her and Poe had really good like chemistry, really like funny scenes. Where I was like, oh, okay. Like there's this one scene at the end of the movie where, oh, I guess like a little bit before, like during the movie, Poe just randomly, I can't even remember why. I think she gave him this, oh, basically like a plot device, this like little coin that like gets him into any first order ship. Wait, anyways, I guess after that, I think Poe says something like, "Can I kiss you?" And she says no, and then like at the very end of the movie, it just kind of tied back into that where Poe just kind of like gives her this look, and Zori's just like she just like shakes her head, and you're just like ah, like I found that really funny. Just like little things like that, like I chuckled and stuff. Um, I like I don't mean like laugh out loud funny, which is good because I don't want a Star Wars movie to be laugh out loud funny. Like again, I go to a Star Wars movie to see lightsaber fights, to see space battles, to see all that kind of like good shit, you know? And like this movie had that good shit. Just like stuff like that. I forgot. Yeah, I was supposed to be doing the positives, wasn't I? I guess again going into the positives, I love the. Okay, this doesn't sound really really dumb, but like I said, I'm a sucker for good looking helmets, for good looking like armor, for all that. The Sith troops and the like their whole aesthetic, the Sith troops, the Sith Order, the Sith jet troopers, the Sith like the what are they called, the Imperial captains, the like the red, like that looks so sexy to me. It's like damn, that is hot. Like the thing is though, I think they had the exact same armor as like the First Order. They were just red, but just something about that red was just like ooh, such a turn on. It's like damn fine. I'm trying to think what else were some of the good things that I liked. Oh I guess this is more just going back to like the fight scenes and stuff. But what was that planet called? The ocean planet. I'll probably just put it like on the bottom of the video right now again, just because I don't remember right now off the top of my head. Um, Ray and Kylo Ren are like really going to town on it. Like I think they really like up the whole like lightsaber battles. Like they turned it up to 10 this movie because not only were there a lot of them, but there are a lot of them that again, this I only watched the movie once, but they seem like really well choreographed. I loved it when Ray was like running around on the like Death Star wreckage and stuff. They're like running over waves and stuff, and Kylo Ren's just looking like an absolute badass and stuff. I will admit that I hate that they kind of gave him the new helmet only for him to disregard it like halfway through the movie again. But again, he had to be redeemed anyway, so it's fine. But no, yeah, like they were fighting and like a lot of that movie, like as you're seeing them fight, it's just like, well, damn, that's pretty cool, you know? Just like stuff like that. Another thing that I really liked about the movie is that they did a good job in, I think, showing that, I guess showing more of what Poe can do. Because Poe, he'd always just been this like hotshot pilot. We just kind of like, well, no, yeah, and like that's kind of what they, of course, they keep him as this movie, you know. But we never really got to see much of it. Because in the Last Jedi, you see it like at the very beginning of the movie, he gets like slapped and demoted because he did something wrong. Well, even though he, okay, no, whatever, that's another movie entirely. After he gets demoted, he can't even like use his ship again afterwards because I think Kylo Ren like blows it up, whatever. But yeah, this is going back to the opening scene where he's like light speed jumping in the Falcon, and like I honestly like that was awesome to me. I was like, oh wow, like I had never seen them do that. And again, I'm not sure there's like an in canon, like in universe canon reason as to why no one else has ever done that before in the Falcon. But I honestly just found it awesome. I think Raven gets mad at him for doing it or something. But no, I found that part really cool. Um, I feel like Finn didn't do much though, like both throughout this movie and just throughout the sequel trilogy in general. To be honest, because I was trying to think too, like Poe contributed a lot because he's the one like up there like fighting in the like the epic space battle like near the end of the movie and stuff. He's taking out star destroyers. He's like leading the charge base, which is really awesome. He was a general, you know, like he actually like led them. That's a small qualm that I kind of have with Leia's what's it called, like position or I guess part. Um, this doesn't sound kind of mean, but like I feel like she didn't do a lot of commanding. Like I guess like when you think of like Princess Leia in the original trilogy, you think of like snarky, you think of like her taking charge, you think of you know, in the sequel trilogy, The Last Jedi, and in this movie, aside, well, it's because she smacks. I don't know. She smacks Poe, whatever. Last Jedi, yeah. I don't see her as like a really competent. I guess maybe because I wasn't shown a really competent military general from Leia, which is what she should be. You know, she's devoted her entire life to fighting the Empire, then the First Order. You know, you'd think she'd be more well versed. I don't know. You know what I mean? She walks around like on the battle, on the what's it called? On like the bridge and stuff, like in the dress, or not the bridge. What's it called? The like in the command center, I guess, on the planet with the Tantive or whatever. What planet even is that? I think it's like something cost. It's in Battlefront 2. I'll put that planet's name down below as well. But no, yeah. So I like seeing Poe like that, like take charge and like lead them like on the front lines. I thought that was really badass. Um, where was I going with this? Finn. Finn didn't do shit this movie though. He just kind of accompanied Rey and Poe. Like, if you take out Finn from his scenes, like, with the exception of like the very last battle, he could not be there and he'd be fine. Like, you know what I mean? Like the movie would be fine without him. And that's the only unfortunate thing. And I feel like John Boyega even kind of realized that a lot of, or like he had a lot of wasted potential in his character. Um, no, yeah, this is after like some tweets that he put. Anyways, no, yeah, not getting into that right now. But no, yeah, like Poe could have saved Chewbacca by himself. He didn't need to go with Rey and Poe just to like accompany them to go find the dagger, then the way fine, and then Rey leaves them anyways. Just near the end of the movie, him and I think her name is Jana. Um, they kind of take out this like radio tower at the end of it, but again, Jana could have done that herself. Just stuff like that where it's like he didn't do a lot this movie, with the exception of just like screaming Rey's name, and even like Rey pushes him back on the whole when they're fighting on that like ocean planet, her and Kylo. So I don't know. He could have done more, I guess. Is what I'm trying to say. I see what I mean. I give it a positive, and then I go straight into a negative immediately after. um, One thing that I really liked was that they reintroduced Lando, and they didn't like they didn't do him dirty, I guess. What I really expected was that I feel like a lot of people expected this too. Was that a lot of like we all thought that Lando was gonna die this movie, okay? Just because Harrison Ford, Han Solo died in The Force Awakens. Last Jedi, Luke was taken away. Carrie Fisher unfortunately passed away during. I think she passed away before The Rise of Skywalker was even like filmed or something. Um, But no, yeah. So I guess that's why a lot of people are just thinking that like that's another thing about Leia that I think Leia's scenes are done really well, despite Carrie Fisher's unfortunate passing. Um, but no, yeah. So I guess like I was really happy that with the fact that like Lando actually did play a part, like a really like a good part too. He takes the Falcon, he goes like find quote unquote the people to like help. Like I love that. Like that was such an awesome scene where I think they even say like, oh, where do they get this like naval power from, this naval fleet from? And I think the one of the officers says something like, oh, this isn't their naval force. It's just people. I was like, ah, like I really like that part. But no, yeah. So I like what Lando did in this movie, I guess. Not only that, but I think he like helped them out on that sand planet. I should have really educated myself before starting this review. Just I'm gonna be putting planet names like all over the place like during this review. Um, but no, yeah, like he did a lot and didn't die. I will admit though that was kind of sad. During Leia's death because it. So I don't cry during movies a lot, but I will admit that one part that really tugged my heartstrings. And again, it wasn't even like I wouldn't even say it was one of the saddest parts of the movie. There's another part that's kind of sad. Like my girlfriend cried during that part. But the one part that like really tugged at my heartstrings was when after Leia dies, Chewbacca's just there and he like gets on his knees on the ground. He's like hitting the ground, and like for some reason I just maybe it's just me getting old or something. But I just immediately went to like, wow, Luke is dead. Han Solo is dead. Leia's dead. Like in universe, Chewbacca's basically the only one from the original game. I guess you can count Lando in there, but I guess he wasn't in New Hope. I guess the droids there. I don't know. Like it, I guess that hit me a little hard. I guess that I'm growing up. I don't know. Growing up in 22. But no, yeah, I don't know. Like that part just like weirdly stuck with me. Just seeing him more in Leia's death. Um, I guess just going back to Leia's death, I think it was done really really well. Where me and a lot of people thought that she was just gonna be like it was gonna be like an offhand mention like in the screen crawl like at the very beginning of the movie, where Leia was just like, oh, General Leia has passed away or something, or like she's been taken. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people expected her to have like I don't want to say an insignificant death, but like they were just gonna like shove her off to the side basically because they couldn't maybe do that much with her. Um, but no, yeah, her death was because it accomplished a lot. As in like she reached out to Kylo Ren through the Force, I guess, and she. So this part again, I'm kind of confused about as well, where I have a bit more of a like I'm a little bit confused about this, but at the same time I'm not necessarily mad at it. Where she like used the Force to get Kylo Ren to come back, but like using a memory of Han Solo, which we've never seen the Force use, or I don't think we've ever seen the Force use that. Maybe again, like in a book or like some screwed book or comic or something, or I don't know. Um, so again, like it it had a lot of meaning, I guess, as to where like it helped Kylo Ren grow and stuff, but I just don't know how exactly, because that wasn't a Force ghost, because Han Solo wasn't like Force sensitive or whatever. Like that was not a Force ghost. You know, like Luke Skywalker's a Force ghost in that movie. We saw him, but so I don't know. I'm not entirely sure what that was, but the fact that Leia kind of like tied into that, and she like passed away as a Force ghost herself, like the yeah, like while helping out Kylo, really kind of sealed it for me. So I'm confused, but not disappointed. Does that make sense? um, yeah. Where else was I going with that? Oh, speaking of the original, one part that I did not expect at all, like I didn't see in spoiler. Again, I tried not to look at too many spoilers, but just one part that like really really caught me off guard was Luke as a Force ghost was telling Rey about like him and Leia training and stuff, and, like when they were younger. And they had these like masks on to like prevent themselves from seeing and stuff, using the Force to like fight or whatever. Yeah, yeah. So, which I thought was really cool. And I even kind of thought to myself too, like they're not gonna show their faces. Like it would be too like it's just it would be impossible. I guess to me, I was like I just like knew it. Like I just thought for myself that I was like, no, they're not gonna show their faces. You know. Except that later on, like after their fight or whatever, they both took off their helmets, and just seeing a young Luke Skywalker and Leia Skywalker just like I don't say in the flesh because they're probably like superimposed or like some fancy technology or whatever. Um, I don't know. It really, I guess, made me happy. Like seeing them on the big screen, even if it wasn't like really really them. You know what I mean? That just made me happy because they were fighting like it with Jedi, like as Jedi's. You know, they were like I don't know. That part just that part stuck out to me too. Um, so it's just kind of going into like the whole like Hux, would you call it a subplot? No, I guess it was actually like a big part of the plot because he's like a traitor, whatever, to the First Order. He has a thing out against Kylo Ren now and stuff. You know, yeah. Um, I saw spoilers of his death before, and for some reason I just thought it would be like a really badass death where he goes out like fighting, maybe not even fighting, just like shooting a couple shots off like Kylo, and then he gets like stabbed or killed or whatever. Yeah, he gets killed kind of like a weenie. um, it's really unexpected. Like it happened so quick that you're just like, what? Like, cause Hux is like there lying to General Pride, I think his name is some general that like worked for Palpatine before, like during the time of the Empire, and I guess the Emperor told him that he was a traitor. General Pride just figured it out on his own, I guess. But like, just really nonchalant. He just kind of like whips around, shoots him, and then it's just like done. It's like that's it. That's the last you're gonna see or hear about General Hux. He was in the movie, fulfilled his purpose, and he's just gone. Don't like don't get attached to that character. But no, yeah, I don't know. Like again, just a small mistake. Not mistake. A small issue I have with the movie. I don't know, because I was kind of expecting more of Hux because he was kind of, I don't want to say a badass, but he was a bit more of a imposing figure in The Force Awakens. I guess Last Jedi kind of made a fool out of him, but whatever. Another qualm that I guess is probably being my, or not one of the biggest qualms that I have with the Rise of Skywalker. Getting my movies mixed up now. Another qualm that I kind of have with this movie is that sure they showed the Knights of Ren, but I feel like they could have done more. Cause like they're like searching for Rey and stuff. They're searching for Finn and Poe, whatever, and they do a lot of standing around. They look badass. Don't get me wrong and stuff. But they get like what, maybe like 5 minutes of screen time, 10 like at most. Kylo Ren takes them all out really well. I don't say easily. He does get his ass kicked a little bit, but and don't get me wrong, like their fight scenes were really cool and stuff. I just wish we'd gotten more of them, you know. And I feel like this is more of a, I guess more of a thing to like tack on to the Last Jedi. I keep doing this, but I really should have seen them more, heard from them more or something, because they're there, they follow Ren for a little bit, and all of a sudden they're just like fighting him, and then they're dead. You know, that's like it. It's like again, don't get attached to those characters because they're dead now. um, just stuff like that. Another, this one. Okay, so I guess these two kind of go a little bit hand in hand. One thing I really didn't like about the movie was the introduction of like force healing, and I guess you can't even call it an introduction because they did it kind of smart where in the Mandalorian, Baby Yoda kind of does it beforehand. I guess maybe they did it on purpose. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking at least. Because Rey can just like force heal people and creatures now and stuff. Like she does it with this like space worm thing. When they get like trapped underneath like the quicksand or whatever, quicksand rocks, whatever. Oh, anyways, I really like that scene. Is that weird? I didn't expect like a, I guess quote unquote giant monster in the movie. So I saw that and it was cool. Anyways, so I don't know, because the whole thing about force healing that I have a problem with is just the fact that if she could use it, why couldn't Anakin use it to save Padme? You know, in the all the way back in like episodes 2 and 3 or episode 3, I guess, where he basically turns to the dark side. He's like Palpatine. He basically submits himself to Palpatine just so he can save his wife because I guess there's no way for him to do so. So again, this is just my own headcanon filling it in. I'm not sure if we have an in-universe explanation for it yet, but my whole thinking is that maybe he just didn't have access to that information yet because maybe it was like in the Jedi archive. That's just trying to be a Jedi master and stuff. Well, yeah, that's why he turned to the dark side, I guess. Plus Rey took those like ancient Jedi texts or whatever in the Last Jedi, so I guess maybe it was in there. I don't know. I feel like that undermines just a bit of Anakin's story. I don't know. Again, with my own headcanon, I guess I can like fill in the gaps like, oh, that's why he couldn't do it, or that's why he didn't do it, you know? But it still kind of leaves a little bit of a bad taste in my mouth where it's like, Anakin, had you only just learned this, had you maybe like asked Yoda or something, how do you force heal, you know? Just, I don't know, because Baby Yoda was doing it like so easily too. Again, I think Yoda's species has like an affinity to the a natural affinity to the force, using the force as it is. But still, if it was a babe, oh, quote unquote baby, 50-year-old baby, you know, I just feel like it shouldn't have been that hard of a that hard of a, what's it called, like a force ability to use. I don't know. So I don't want to say I hated it, but at the same time, it's still like, but why? Or like, why not? I guess Anakin, why didn't you? Yeah, I don't know. Um, yeah, cause oh, Rey beats Kylo again, and again, this is going into like the Last Jedi and stuff. I think Rey beats like Kylo Ren like in every movie, or like she has the potential to beat him in every movie, basically. So like the Force Awakens, she like horribly scars him and disfigures him and stuff, and again, he's like injured and stuff, but pain should like help him fuel, or should help him like fuel his the dark side or whatever and stuff. So she beats him there. And the Last Jedi, after like the what's it called, the Holdo maneuver happens, or whatever. I think in like a book or something, it's described that Rey has like the slightest moment of like hesitation, which is like, I could kill him and end it now, which is true. I don't know, like Rey has so many opportunities to kill Kylo Ren, and like even in the Rise of Skywalker, he gets a little bit like distracted with. I will admit though that this one's like, they seemed a little bit more even here, where Kylo Ren kind of like held his own. I don't know. Like it's weird saying that, isn't it? Because you would think he would have been the big like bad of the movies, of the sequel trilogy. I'm sorry, but like because he's not, it's hard to take him seriously as a villain when he is a villain. Um, but no, yeah. So Ray beats him this time, but I guess not in the most like fairest of ways. Fair, yeah. I don't know. He gets distracted basically. He gets a forced Skype call from his mom basically. I don't know, but So, anyways, I don't know. I don't know where I was even going with that one. Um, but no, yeah, that's the thing about Kylo Ren, that he makes for like a really interesting character, but at the same time, I don't think he makes for a good villain like at all. And maybe that's why they introduced the Palpatine, the Emperor, back into Episode 9, because they're like, hey, Kylo Ren, he's not selling it basically. Um, so I don't know. I have mixed feelings about Kylo Ren. Like a large part of me likes him. Yeah, he's a good character. He's a good character. Um, oh, and so I said these two things go hand in hand, like way like 20 minutes ago or something. But Force healing and the last part about the Rise of Skywalker, the like one of the last scenes. I mean, the whole battle between Rey and Palpatine and stuff. I feel like they could have done it better because she basically gets a solo kill against Palpatine. Well, quote unquote solo, because Palpatine says like, "Oh, the Sith live in me" or whatever, and she goes, "Oh, well, all the Jedi live in me," and she hears like the voice of the Jedi and stuff. But yeah, so I guess maybe not solo, but I just wish he had shown a little bit more struggle. I guess is my thing. Um, in what is it called? Revenge of the Sith, Episode 3. Back when Mace Windu and Palpatine were fighting, I think like in a novel, it talks about how Mace Windu's blade was actually bending back from the intensity of Palpatine's lightning. Okay, and again, after seeing Palpatine do that like display of like God mode lightning, taking out ships or whatever and stuff, I don't know. I just, it bugged me a little bit that she like deflected it with her lightsaber so easily. That, yeah, and then she uses two lightsabers, and just all of a sudden it's like double the power, you know? Just, and Palpatine just kind of dies because he just keeps frying himself. I don't know. Is that just like his biggest flaw? Like in Revenge of the Sith, he did the same thing, but at least there he had a bit more of a reason to, because he needed to at least seem a little bit more like disfigured and like his force mask or whatever. Well, yeah, but here it's just like he sees himself getting zapped and he's just like, oh shoot, I wonder if I zap harder, maybe I'll beat her. I don't know, because he basically kills himself in just a really dumb way. But I don't, because like Ray, I don't. It's just, it's because I don't want to say it's a bad end to Palpatine, but I just feel like they could have done so much better. I guess is where I'm just going with it. Like if they were gonna do it like this, at least show that I guess the Jedi are like helping out a little bit more and stuff, and because okay, so I guess need a little. I need to backtrack a little bit, because throughout the whole like end part with Palpatine and Rey, he's kind of like telling her to like kill him and stuff, and he's like, "Oh, all the Sith will live through you now" and stuff, and it kind of looks like he's gonna do it for a little while. That seems intense though. First of all, like he has like an audience behind, like it's crazy. But no, yeah. So all of that's going on, and you're thinking like, "Oh, well, what is Rey gonna do if she kills him?" That's it, you know, like she becomes Sith herself. So my whole thinking was that Jedi are supposed to like fight without using anger, without using like emotions and stuff, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, can't she just like, I don't know, throw away her emotion, kill him like that? But instead she just kind of like pulls a 180 and is like, but you know, I'll just deflect this back on him and he'll die. Like I don't know. It seems really cop outy. Just I don't know. Again, it just could have been done better, I think. Granted, I don't write movies, you know, I'm no director. I don't know. I I think that was one of the weaker parts of the movie to me. Just her and Palpatine, kind of like the that like last push between her and Palpatine, like all the Jedi and stuff. But no, yeah, it is what it is. Um, Finally, there's the whole like Kylo Ren like comes over and like rescues her with force. See what I mean though? Just force healing. It's like it's such a, because Rey like basically dies. She looks dead. She is dead. She just stops moving. Her eyes are just like wide open. Just, and you're kind of thinking like, oh shoot, like the main character, this, you know, like yeah. And I think I would have been fine or more fine with her dying, and maybe Kylo Ren kind of like devoting himself to the light side, or just kind of like going off to redeem himself for both himself and Rey. You know, kind of like putting himself on the path of like goodness, basically the light side, for you know what I mean? Like just in order to redeem himself because he knows he like did wrong, whatever. Yeah, and like he just gets a pulls out of his butt. It's like, I just force healer. It's like, why not? Um, some people have said that I think it was like essence transfer or something, and that's part of the reason why she calls herself a Skywalker at the end of the movie and stuff. And I guess because no, Rey even says with the worms like she shared part of her life force with it and stuff. So I guess it's just force healing, the same thing. I don't know, but that scene was kind of sad though. I will admit they like finally got together. They finally kissed or whatever. Yeah. Kylo Ren dies immediately after. My girlfriend actually cried during that scene. It was it was kind of sad. But no, yeah, yeah. Um, was that everything? I'm just going through like a little like list of like bullet points I had on my phone here. No. Oh well, just I guess it's just the whole what's it called? The Rey Skywalker scene where that's just another thing that again it's just a small thing though that I didn't really like. My voice is actually hurting. I've been talking for like a solid 40 minutes. What the heck? um, but no, yeah, like because the one of the themes that I thought was really prevalent throughout this movie was just that being comfortable with who you are. Like I don't know. I guess when she was asked like Ray who, like Ray, like what's your last name? I expect her to say Palpatine to be able to like say this is who I am, but I'm not afraid of who I was, or how do I say it? I'm not afraid of what I am supposed to be, quote unquote. You know what I mean? Like I feel like she should have owned the name, claimed it, and just kind of like done better. Like, you know what I mean? She could have like turned the name around and been like, oh, okay, sure, my grandfather kind of like inspired fear throughout the galaxy. Like the Palpatine name inspired fear throughout the galaxy or whatever. But she could have like taken like control of that, taken the name and been like, you know what, I can show the galaxy that this name is, it can be like used for good. It can cause good, I guess. I don't know. So when she said Rey Skywalker, it felt kind of like they kicked that they kicked that idea into the mud. Um, like I don't know, like the whole thing was like, oh, being kind of like proud of who, not maybe not proud, but being comfortable with who you are. So just the end scene where she's like, I'm Rey Skywalker. It's just like, well, okay then, never mind on that, I guess. But no, yeah, again, another small thing. No movie is perfect, I'm not gonna like lie and say to you that like, oh, Rise of Skywalker is a perfect movie, perfect end, perfect, yeah. I do think it was a great movie though. It's definitely one of my favorite Star Wars movies, up there with Revenge of the Sith and Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. I really like Return of the Jedi despite the Ewoks. um, but no, yeah, yeah. There's a whole like orange light, or sorry, yellow lightsabers, yellow orange, whatever lightsaber scene. That was really cool. I kind of wish she'd be able to like. I kind of wish they had started off the movie with her having that lightsaber already, just to see it more in action. I feel like that would have been really cool. The whole like yellow lightsaber thing is that it kind of like wettens our mouths right now for like something in the future. So I'm kind of wondering, even though the Skywalker saga is technically over, are they going to do more with the character of Rey and her yellow lightsaber in the future? Like, are they going to continue on that story? I guess maybe just in the comics and stuff, or I don't know. I don't know. Because I guess now technically she's a Skywalker, so is that like her? That ends with her. Like the saga just ends with her, and that's like it. But no, yeah. All in all, just kind of like wrapping up all of my thoughts. I love the movie. I hate to admit it too because The Last Jedi put like such a sour taste in my mouth before, but it's just like now it's like I love this movie. Like Emperor Palpatine alone kind of like made it worth it for me. All the homages they did to like previous movies, Luke lifting the X-wing himself, even though he was a Force ghost, him doing that. There's just like one scene with like Han where he's like, or like Kylo Ren and Han, and Kylo Ren's like, "Oh, Dad," it makes it seem like he doesn't say "I love you," and then Han before anything just like, "No," just like stuff like that. Um, Honestly, I feel like there's a bit of a love letter to the fans, just like going back throughout like the previous movies and kind of like being kind of like wrapping everything up. I think it does a good job of wrapping everything up. It definitely could have done better, and I feel like a lot of the faults that it has come from the fact that The Last Jedi was The Last Jedi. But no, yeah. Again, it's still not a perfect movie by like any stretch of the matter, but still a great movie. I definitely need to watch it again in theaters soon. Hopefully you liked it. Hopefully, or if not, actually, go ahead and leave it in the comments what you liked, what you disliked. If you agree with me, disagree with me, I'd love to go ahead and talk to you guys. Thank you all so much for watching. If you made it all the way through, I'm not even sure how long this video is. But yeah, guys, this is DenFet signing off. Probably won't be doing any more of these review videos again. Again, mainly a gaming channel. It's just, I don't know. I'm just such a huge Star Wars nerd that I really want to like make my opinion known. Hopefully someone cares. I don't know. Thank you all so much for watching. This is DenFet signing out. Bye, fams.